The secret to long-term consistency isn't forcing things through willpower. It's actually reducing or eliminating friction. An INFP reached out to me and asked, how do I sustain good routines? And it brought up a couple different mindsets that have helped me in my life. And these are things that I also share within the Evolve community, description down below. And so in this video, I'm going to give you 3 different ways that you can sustain long-term routines, different ways of thinking about what you're currently doing and why it's not working. Because we're not here to force you to take different actions that aren't aligned with your personality type. We're here to find ways of activating your INFP personality type so that you can live a life that is more aligned with the things that you want. So the first one is like if you've signed up to a gym membership, it's putting your clothes on the floor in front of the door so that you have to step over them in order to actually like move on with your day, or they're already set up so that you don't need to struggle or spend more willpower trying to make things happen because it's already set out. This is something that I learned also from Eben Pagan, who called it inevitability thinking. We want to make it easier to do the thing that we want to do. Another example of this is if you want to eat healthier, you don't stock your fridge with a bunch of snacks and candies and then complain that I just keep eating these things. It's like somebody buying packs of cigarettes and keeping them on them at all times. Like it's easier to do the bad habit that way. So we want to get rid of the friction that is causing us to take actions that we are not wanting to be aligned with, that we're not aspiring to align with. So in order to apply this, we want to set up some sort of cause and effect action. So what we want to do here is set up things in advance so that it's easier to do the thing that we want to do. So if you're going to the gym tomorrow, that's your plan. You want to put out your clothes in advance. Or even I watched a video recently, and the lady, I think she was maybe an INTJ, INFJ, I'm not sure. She said that she hates that friction. She hates actually washing her clothes and stuff. So when she goes to the gym, she comes back gross and then jumps right in the shower with those clothes on, showers and washes them at the same time so that she doesn't have that extra step of, well, I got to wash my clothes and then set them out and dry them. It's already attached to the routine. Another way that you could do this is you put your notebook on the table so that in the morning when you already do that habit, the habit that you do of like pouring your coffee, right? Then you sit down and your notebook's already there. So it's easier to start free writing and it doesn't take you an extra step of like, oh, where's my notebook? And you got to get it ready again. And this next one is actually one of my favorites. It's been the most helpful for me as an INFP. We bring in our values and our convictions and emotional motivation to everything that we do. So it's really helpful to apply that to our new habits that we're trying to create. So if we need to do like some sort of accounting stuff for our business, we're an entrepreneur of sorts, then instead of seeing something as boring paperwork, see it as protecting my creative freedom or supporting my family, and lean into how is that emotionally motivating? What are the things that you get when you do this, even if you don't want to do it? When you finish all that paperwork, how do you feel about it? Who are you helping? What other things are you able to do? And if you don't do it, why does that suck? What's wrong with that? What are all the problems that are coming from you not doing that? Sometimes, I just don't feel like recording a bunch of videos. And when I am in that mode, I bring in my values and say, okay, who am I supporting? Who am I helping by actually taking these actions? Who am I not? Who am I hurting by not taking the actions? Like if I didn't record a video, maybe it doesn't help somebody who could have used this video today. I get those comments a lot, like I needed this today. Thank you. And that is a constant reminder of me showing up even when I am struggling emotionally to like feel like I want to show up. It's actually the better and easier thing for my future. So what you want to do is look at your routine or the habit that you're wanting to start and start finding emotional motivators that are attached to it. Okay? What are the things that you get when you do it? What are the things that you lose when you don't do it? Those are the two easiest dichotomies that you can look at. And so then when you don't feel motivated, activate yourself. Tap into your emotions, tap into your values, and motivate yourself, inspire yourself to take those actions. If a habit or routine lacks purpose, then you need to redefine it so that you can find the purpose in it that is going to motivate you to do it. You have so much heart and you have so many ideas and different ways of reframing and thinking differently about things. So work those together into allowing you to take the actions that are going to be more beneficial for you in the future. James Clear said, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." And for us, we can take that as we have these big aspirational goals, maybe, and we have our systems that are allowing us to reach the goals, the habits, the routines that you do that, if done consistently over time, will allow you to emerge into the type of person that you want to become. If we don't have those routines set up, then we're going to go explore over here, we're going to venture over here, we're going to pursue all these different side quests, and we're not going to get the XP and the loot and the quest line that are important to us. But it's important to know that just a little bit is better than nothing. And a lot of times we focus on, well, am I going to be able to maintain this consistently for the rest of my life? Instead of, what can I do today to make this easier and simpler and something that I actually want to follow through with? So instead of looking at that whole huge dragon, we can look at the starting quests and say, what's the first thing that I need to do? What's the smallest step? And then once I do that enough, then you can get, once you do it enough, you can get acclimated to it and it becomes easier to do because it's becoming a routine. When you first started brushing your teeth, you probably forgot to do it sometimes, unless your mom or dad was like poking you and prodding you and telling you to do it. So I have a kettlebell over there and I don't use it every day, but I do use it enough that I'm still making progress. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to burn out or just not pick it up again. But I make sure that I lift enough that I'm still maintaining progress. And I'm okay with that. And I've been in the other side of this where I'm like, I'm going to lift, I'm going to work out, I'm going to exercise all day, every day. And I burn out or I hurt myself. And so I know that taking that goal and breaking it down into something that I can manage, that I can build up momentum with, is going to be better than going all out and then stopping and not being able to continue. So you might want to think of, what is the minimum viable action that's going to allow you to maintain progress, and it still counts as you doing the thing for those days that you just don't really feel like it. There's a YouTuber, Ali Abdal. If you don't know him, you might want to check him out. He used to be a doctor, and in order to start his YouTube channel, he would record like little 5-minute videos or start to script it or outline it during his really short breaks, because he knew he didn't have time to just sit down and think about it and plan all day because he was really busy. So he found little pockets of time that he could do consistently over time so that when he did have a chance to film, he could do it then. Working out, you don't need to have a 60-minute workout all the time, because on those other days where you're really busy and you're like, I only got 5 minutes, what am I going to do? I'm just not going to do it. Well, you could still do a couple push-ups or something like that. You could still get a decent workout in that time. Same with art or any creative project. You don't need to sit down and have 2 hours of unbroken time. You're probably not going to allow yourself to do that anyway, because you'll get distracted. You'll want to listen to some music or some sort of like pings of excitement around you. But you don't need to have that huge block of time, likely. You can still dip in, activate it, build up that habit, and then when you get time or when you structure your schedule a little bit better, you might be able to inflate that time, create golden hours in the morning so that you can be uninterrupted if that's what you want to do. And one last thing that you might want to consider is, what would your life look like if these daily habits and routines that you're wanting to create were more like choices instead of chores?